eggs and burning plastic, caught in his throat and made him convulse in a racking, gagging coughing fit, which he felt but could not hear. Struggling to his feet, he staggered and wavered until he steadied himself. In the gaps between the skyline of buildings, he saw similar pillars of dark smoke rising from other explosions across the city. Inside of 30 minutes, his miserable solitude had become abject terror. He turned and fled as fast as he could, shuffling on unsteady feet and resolutely sticking to the middle of the street amongst the terrified crowds, hopefully keeping himself away from any other blasts he might come too close to. Solitude is pleasant. Loneliness is not. Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. London Heathrow Airport. 74 hours earlier. "To your knowledge," said the bored-looking young woman behind the counter, "has anyone placed anything in your luggage without you knowing?" She didn't make eye contact with him, and he doubted if she even cared about his answer. He also doubted that she would appreciate him asking her how he would know if someone had put anything in his luggage without his knowledge, as he obviously wouldn't have knowledge of it. "No," he replied simply, keeping his passive-aggressive sarcasm shut up tightly. The young woman, apparently called Haley — quite why people were choosing to spell their children's names phonetically nowadays was beyond his comprehension — finally made eye contact with him through layers of thickly applied makeup and smiled falsely. Hidden behind a dense row of fake eyelashes, her eyes didn't mirror the smile as she handed him his boarding pass and directed him toward security. Yeah, Cal thought to himself, I'd be bored as shit doing your job too. Boarding pass and passport in hand, backpack over one shoulder, he shuffled toward the back of the queue to be directed through a gate only to wait in line again until he was called forward to strip himself of anything metallic. Shoes, phone, belt, loose change, wallet, watch — all went into the dull gray plastic tray on the squeaking rollers in front of him as a suspicious but equally bored-looking security guard eyed him coldly. The last item from his pocket, a small dark box wrapped in velvet, nestled securely alongside his other possessions. "Any computers, laptops, tablets in your hand luggage?" the guard asked autonomously as he put his backpack in a separate tray. With a sigh, Cal opened the bag and removed the tablet, only to be asked to place it in the tray next to the bag. His anger and irritation bubbled just below the surface at the pointlessness of this. Being treated like a terrorist because he didn't know he had to have his bag and iPad scanned separately irked him. But then again, everything got on his nerves recently. Despite going through wearing only socks with empty pockets, he still set off the metal detector and was subjected to a personal search, having a handheld metal detector waved pointlessly fast over his body and having his shoes swabbed. Finally, doing the rush dance that all Brits did in airport security, he tried to put his belt and shoes on whilst simultaneously stuffing things back into his pockets in haste, so as to not cause any disruption to the person behind him in line. He shuffled through the snaking aisles of duty-free shopping, ignoring all the offers for the latest fragrance to be doused over him and the slightly cheaper alcohol, and pulled up a stool at the nearest bar and ordered himself a breakfast beer. After all, he was supposed to be on his honeymoon. The girl serving his pint looked similarly bored to the girl on the check-in desk and the security guards, and served him wordlessly as the price showed up on a small digital screen in front of him. He paid the exorbitant price with his card by waving it over the card reader, and regarded the swirling bubbles of his cheap lager, cheap anywhere except in an airport bar on the wrong side of security. For what he paid for a single pint, he could have bought 6 cans from the shop near his house. Sod it, he thought again. I'm on my holidays. His hand absent-mindedly went to his pocket and to the small box. He retrieved it and ran it between his fingers, pausing with his thumb in the crease to pop open the spring-loaded lid. Instead, he clasped it in his fist and thrust it back.